Hi everyone, it's Vicki at Stamp with Vicki. Thanks for joining me today. So today we're going to create this adorable little puppy dog card, and we're going to do that. As I said that, my dog just looked at me like, oh yes, I'm adorable. It's a little funny. Anyway, back to business. We are going to use the Pampered Pets stamp set, and this is actually from the annual catalog. I'm taking a break from the holidays for the moment. I just thought I'd play around with it, and it turned out really cute. So that's the stamp set, and I'll give you a glimpse at the catalog. So it's actually part of a whole suite of products, and the suite is found on pages 40 to 42, and it comes with some different twines, which is great for me. I love that. Some designer series paper and some cute little trinkets, which you will see we'll use later. So that's just a super fun addition to your crafting stash. When I created this card, I did it, it's a cased card, copy and share everything or copy and selectively edit. I've heard both. I attended On Stage last week, which is Stampin' Up's annual convention, and it was virtual, but we still had make and takes. So this was our make and take from that, and I really kind of liked the layout. And you might notice a sneak peek into a new stamp set, right? So you can see copy and selectively edit. I think that's a really good definition. I usually say copy and share, but I'm thinking I'm going to change it. But I took the 3 strips, I kept everything the same size and the mat, and I even used, the same direction. But what I did was I just moved the dog up and over. So you can see how I used, was Donna Griffith who did the presentation. And so I used her ideas and then just made it mine. And this is a great way to stamp if you're having just like a block, or you want to get started and you don't know where. Sometimes, even us demonstrators go through that. So look how cute that came out. And I do want to show you, I'll give you a sneak peek. We're going to make just the dog card today, but I am a dog lover and a cat lover. So I'll show you similarly, very loosely cased as well, is this lovely lady, and she looks so happy sitting on her hearts, and I thought that was too cute. And you can see the detail in the back where I just kind of restamped it over, repeatedly stamped her image, and I used Versamark for that. The fun, that's a punch. So overall, a pretty simple card. There's a little bit of embossing. That's as hard as it gets, and that's always fun. So, I feel like any new stamper, talk to us, talk to me, talk to a demonstrator, let us teach you how to emboss. It adds a lot of dimension and fun to the cards. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I will have, speaking of dimension, I will have all of the dimensions and details, or links to them anyway, in the description below the video on YouTube. So check for that. That'll bring you to my blog where you'll find the dimensions and all the products that I've used for it in case you have any questions. So to start, we're using basic black cardstock. That's going to be our base, and it is, I cut it, sheet of cardstock in half at 5.5 by 8.5, and we score it and fold it at 4.25, and that's our standard card size. Now, we're going to emboss, and I am going to emboss on the video. Usually I kind of do it ahead of time. It's just such a cute card, and I really like how it kind of comes alive on the black cardstock. I am using, quiet, nobody knows. I am using, this is the Embossing Buddy, and gosh, we don't sell this anymore, but if you can get your hand on one, it just emits like a little powder to reduce static cling when you are embossing. So it helps the embossing powder, not stick to the cardstock other than where you want it on the Versamark. So good luck. If you can find an Embossing Buddy, grab it. We're going to make sure I didn't clean it pre-video, the little dog food bowl, which is too cute. And I'm going to stamp, I mean, you know, pretty randomly. And we're going to go ultimately working our way over to this upper right side. Some of this is going to definitely be covered up, and it's fine. It's just easier for me to stamp it like that. So I think maybe I'll even do one there. Okay, so we use the Versamark ink because you can probably see it stays wet, and I'm going to bring in my embossing powder. It's just Stampin' Up's white embossing powder. I switched vessels, if you will, to make it easier. And how we emboss, if you don't already know, is we just take this white powder, whatever color powder you're using. I just happen to have white here. And you're going to spread it over top of the Versamark ink. And you're going to, you know, come back in and tap some of that off. Make sure. There we go. If you can see where it sticks, I have a little brush here. I need to get that. To the cardstock, but it's not a big deal. You can just take a little mini paintbrush, sometimes even your finger, and work around that and try and get all of that the extra embossing powder off. I try and use, you know, the least amount of embossing powder that I can so I can try and avoid this, but it happens. It happens all the time to everybody, so it's really just part of the program, I think. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. Darn it, you know what? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this embossed. So it's just gonna take a couple of seconds over here. Sorry about the noise. My cord's not long enough. I'll explain what I'm doing in just a second. Took a minute longer than I thought. Sorry about that. But anyway, you can see now how bright white. I just love the change, you know, and that's pretty. Sometimes black and white in and of itself is just stunning. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead. We're going to set this aside now. We have some things to put together and some fun things to stamp. So what we can do is I have, oh geez, I don't need this anymore. So I'm going to put that right over here. Okay. So I have a little piece of cardstock and it's cut at 2.5 by 3.5. And we're going to use basic gray ink. I was thinking I was using black. Okay, basic gray ink. I was ill prepared for today. I'm going to take this guy. He's so cute. So I think it's this dog in this set that is designed after our CEO, Sarah Douglas's dog. Isn't that a fun fact? Okay. There we go. I wanted Smoky Slate, basic gray, because it's obviously a little bit lighter than the Memento Black, so it just kind of gives it a different look, a little bit softer. I'm going to give that a second to dry. It won't take long, and I will stamp Happy Birthday in real red. Now, I kind of cheated. What I didn't mention is the Happy Birthday stamp that I used. I stole it from the Zany Zebras stamp set. Well, I borrowed it. I'll put it back. Okay, so I'm going to pull this down just so I can see it. I'm going to make sure it's straight. I'll put it right back up. All right, wish me luck. That's pretty good. you know, and unless you stamp something on the inside, that's all the stamping for this project. We're going to color now. Coloring's always so fun. So I stuck with obviously the gray theme, and what did I do? I probably started with the darker smoky slate, and I went around his, you know, just his back and almost the whole outline of him, but not exactly. Did I do the front? Let's do the front. I'm not an artist. I don't really know how shading works. So I definitely take advantage of what Stampin' Up! Offers us in terms of, you know, helping us out with shading. And I actually went back and I colored on those little parts of the dog. So on those little hairs sticking out. Such a cute little guy. And we're gonna, you know, come in and figure this out some more in a minute. And I'll show you that, how we're going to do that. I really did want his muzzle to be a couple of different shades because, you know, when you're looking at a dog, I don't know if this guy's a Westie or if he's, oh gosh, I don't know. I'm not sure what he is, but I know this breed of dog, you know, their fur is all sorts of shades. So you can see right there, I forgot a spot where I'm going to come back and add some darker color to it. Here we go. There. So you can see that's still a line. So I'm going to come in here and soften it a little bit. You know, the more you go over it, the softer it gets. What I forgot about, and when you go to do this, keep a piece of scrap paper under this because it can go through onto what's under here. It's an alcohol marker and they do bleed. I'll show you in a second. Okay. So here. Okay, I think I got him. So I am going to come in now, right here. And I think I'm going to come along this leg as well. Give him some highlights. Sure is a happy guy. And I'm just going over that again to make it, just blend it a little bit more with the light smoky slate. Okay, there we go. Now to do his nose, I chose the light basic black. And no, it doesn't really keep that much detail, but it's cute. He needs a black nose. And we kept a real red collar. Boom. Pretty cute. Now, right now, this is cute and he's adorable and all is well, and you can keep it like that. If you happen to have some blends, and you can also obviously color this with your watercolor pencils, with your regular markers, all of that, just blends, kind of, I tend to gravitate to them. So I'm going to give this guy, I'm going to ground him some. So we'll start there. It's going to look a little different. My line is much thicker than the other one, so we'll see how this turns out. You can see it's already, and this gives, you know, even the lines when they're wet look much different. They totally blend when they're dry, which is nice. I'm just going to keep going over this just for a little bit. There. Too cute. Yeah, you can see it went through right there. I'm just going to get that with my fingers. Other than that, I think I'm safe, so you can see it does go through. So you just want to be mindful and use a piece of scrap paper. That doesn't often happen. I was really heavy with that because I wanted it to blend well because it was such a thick line. But see, I think he looks nice grounded, and it gives the card just a little bit something extra. So we're going to set him aside just for the time being. Take our red base for our dog, and this is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. We're going to add our strips now. So you can kind of place them ahead of time, which I didn't do when I was stamping with OnStage. So I didn't love where my strips were placed. So I took the time when I created this card, and I came up from the bottom and the top, or down from the top and up from the bottom a little bit, and made my spaces in the middle, you know, in between a little bit less. And I like that look much, much better. I think goodness me. There we go. I don't know why it's not catching. You know what? My table is bumpy. I think that was it. No, that's not it. There we go. Just changed this. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and this guy, hopefully he's pretty in the middle. And you notice I'm not exactly laying him down yet. I'm gonna bring that down a little bit. I'm quiet, I'm concentrating. Okay, so we have the last piece here. I need a little bit more space. There we go. I'm just being careful to line them up straight on the side. Goodness, I have adhesive over here. Sticky, sticky. All right, I'm gonna use dimensional. I'm gonna pop him right on. I think 4 will be fine for him. There we go. That is just too cute. I mean, this paper really makes this project. So now we're going to bring back the card base. And what did I do? I think I just used regular old adhesive. That's what we're going to do. We're going to use regular old adhesive. And I bumped him up right off to the side here. I think that's pretty good. So we're almost finished. We're now going to use one of the Playful Pets trinkets. And so, see if you can see. Yeah. So we have bones and we have little hearts. So I'm going to take a bone and a glue dot. And there we go. I'm going to stick my trinket onto the glue dot and then pull it up, and it'll be on there. You can mess around with it if you need to. And I have to pull it back. I'll do this a little bit. We're going to add it right to his collar. Too cute. Oops. I was admiring it. Forget about you guys. I was admiring my beautiful work. Just kidding. So just kidding. Oh, goodness. Okay. Yeah, isn't he sweet? So that's a quick, fairly quick and simple card that you can create, and any dog lover would love this for a birthday card or whatever. You can use sentiments, any sentiment that you'd like. So anyway, if you liked my video, I would love it if you'd subscribe to my channel and click on the little bell to get the notifications when I go live. And again, all of the information will be under the video in the description, and that will link you to my blog where you can find all the measurements that we used for today. So thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.